over. Let's go.
Yes, I like to connect this morning.
Yeah, welcome. It's interesting because it gets so quiet. It's like beyond anything personal. It's just, yeah, it does what it wants. You can't. Yeah. Thanks, Judith.
Can I ask a little question about
Sure.
this? Did you feel the quietness as something that moves away into the absolute, or quietness that comes down as embodied consciousness?
Yeah, to me, it just feels like that, which includes everything, but it's not particularly located anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we are on the same page, because I don't like to hide in the absolute or withdraw in the absolute, you know?
Yeah,
it's like embodied and here,
and
just
everywhere.
here, and everything is included. That's the direction I would love to go.
Yeah.
And
but, you know,
hands off, hands off.
Yeah, what I see is like, you know, I sit to just see what it does, because
yeah. Great. Thank you
I
so
love
much,
it.
Isaac.
I love it when it gets really juicy and love flows really thickly, and I love it also when it just gets so, like, even any making of distinction just drops away. It's just yeah, something like that.
Yeah, for me it feels like just being here somehow.
Just being here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mute. Isaac?
Yes.
Yeah, I put in my name.
Oh, good. Let me find you again. I now found you.
Right.
Yeah, I see you. Now I got you. Have they relaxed it a little bit in Western Australia too? Here the shops are now open.
Yeah, here a lot is open and you can go outside with 10 people with the 1.5 meter, but it's full, like the parks now, like there were so many people. Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's coming out of their cocoon.
Great. Some places it's getting more crazy, some places it's relaxing a bit.
Well, in Europe, I think they're also relaxing. Like it seems a movement, but I'm not following the news anymore. So I don't. I know that Greece and Italy.
I didn't even know they'd relaxed it yet, except when I went into town to do some shopping. I felt a completely different vibe. But wow, okay, something new is happening.
Yeah.
Then I asked them. The trees don't seem to mind.
It does feel like energetically, I can feel it at least inside myself that it's moving into another stage, as where before it was really like nice to, and now I also feel like, oh yeah, you know, like everybody's going out a little bit more, and I think people are quite fed up, like done with it. I noticed something coming up, but I first just want to sit maybe just for a moment, just to feel whatever.
With pleasure, just resting here, happy.
So funny how when there's something on your screen, even though you wanna like keep somehow. So what came up is, and I just wanted to explore it a little bit with you, if there's anything to explore. That I'll switch off. Someone is messaging me, I think. Suddenly I could feel this like really belief, or like the trust of that of this abandonment thing of well, people are gonna leave me anyway, something like that. And almost waiting for that to happen. Yeah.
So
And yeah, I know it's from a certain perspective, it's absolutely impossible for people to ever leave you.
Yeah. So let's just see if we can. People are going to leave me. Obviously, that's a mental interpretation. So, you know, like some. But I'm curious what it's based on sensationally. Just if we can see, just be resting here. And again, you know, these things, I don't know if sometimes we carry it from generations back. We don't know where it comes from. I'm sure, you know, it exists in the field because for sure, you know, people have experienced that. And in a way, you know, like everybody has an appointment with death. So, you know, in some ways, yeah, it's like.
Yeah, it is interesting, like to see what the sensation is that makes this. it feels almost literally like, well, waiting is also an interpretation already. But just this expectation of, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a few things that we can play with it, just like, you know, if somewhere that's an imprint, yeah, from, and who knows from where, it can be from, you know, like your mother wasn't present with you when you were in the womb, could have been from generations back, and be from something that happened when you were a child. We just don't know, but so somehow, if there's been that filter, maybe sometimes it's useful to start from what are the compensations, that how your system survived that particular filter. How did it play out in every single interaction? Then it would play out in a certain way. Just seeing if we can identify that. And it wouldn't have been anything you would have done consciously. It would have been automatic and unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel it now. So because it now comes so clearly that it's just this absolute belief or this expectation of, okay, people will not like me anyway or something like that. So either I would try to monitor all the time if I'm doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
or I would not connect with people at all just to avoid that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that I don't have to go in that whole thing, because then, or like being like independent, or like, you know, like not
Mm-hmm.
being in a situation where I can be vulnerable like that, and that people can, or yeah. And if I would then be in that situation, it would feel highly uncomfortable, because would all the time like feel that I'm not doing something not right.
Yeah, yeah. And so what would the compensation be for that?
Contraction.
Or how it, yeah, contraction, and, you know, like, because I mean, if I have to speak, you have one of the most sweet personalities, which, you know, could be a compensation for that. You know, like, I, I just want to be so sweet nobody could possibly ever reject me.
Well, and the
But,
funny thing is, I'm
yeah.
not aware of being sweet, because I sometimes feel like I'm not sweet enough.
Oh wow.
That I feel that a lot, actually. I feel like
Yeah.
not coming short, like not doing, yeah, like not doing enough, or like being not loving enough, not giving enough, not connecting enough, not, yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so beautiful that it's coming, you know, clearer to be seen. And just, wow, we're here.
I'm happy that you think I'm sweet, but even that, because that's then also a certain confirmation in the same thing, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm talking about the personality, you know,
Yeah.
like, and so it's, you know, most of our personalities are, you could say, have formed around some old information.
Yeah, because if I would be myself, I would be not that, like, not sweet enough. So yeah, exactly, have to be.
Yeah, yeah. So at this moment, is that filter in place, or is it something different happening right now? Yeah, there's no filter here, right? To my perception, anyway. It's just. Yeah.
No, it
Meeting.
feels like can just, and I
Be.
feel
Yeah.
that actually a lot also,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can just
But
be.
just to make the distinction
Yeah,
between when that filter's playing and when it's not.
yeah,
So just here now.
yeah.
No need for it. Yeah.
No, it's so nice to do this, and because I'm so, uh, I can so much see the compensation of this, and it's actually a real drag for the environment, for everything to have this
I
playing.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And beautiful, it's revealing itself. Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Mm,
taking so much
thank you.
time and to look into it. Yeah. So nothing to do.
No, I mean, it's like somehow it always shows the next thing to explore. It's like we don't have to be busy with anything. It just somehow you suddenly see something like, oh wow, something's playing, and yeah.
Thank you.
Mm,
Was it okay for you?
thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, just exquisite. Yeah, thank you.
Ina would like to speak.
It's Ina.
You're unmuted, Ina.
Oh, thank you, even. Hello, Isaac.
Hello, Ina.
I like to rest with you, and what is what sometimes plays is that I easily miss the feeling of belonging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. So if we change the description of belonging to the right to be just the way you are.
That touches.
Yeah. It doesn't, it's like, it's not up to someone else whether you belong or not. It's just, it's just that I'm here. And then that deepest seeing of that there's never been a moment when there's ever been any real separation. It's not possible. And at a human functioning level, our parents, the information that they had and their capacity to rest in as the non-dual, as that all-inclusive consciousness. Many of them never had that. They didn't even know it was possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then there was, accepting, rejecting, and all that stuff going on. And, this, how to be accepted, how not to get rejected, all that stuff started to play within that.
Yeah, and then I recognize this pulling back.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That would be part of that, that universe, you could say, yeah? That orientation.
Yeah, and it can feel like that I don't feel that this system doesn't feel connected to life, to the life energy.
Of course. Of course, it would be an organization of making itself small just to survive, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, for such a big being, that would be... Yeah. I mean, these funny filters, yeah, they are, it's like, what a sense of humor this universe has, yeah? Looking through all these different...
Yeah.
When we rest like this, do you have a sense of being beyond the personality and its structure, or?
Yeah, it feels like relaxation into the body and then extending at the same time.
Yeah,
That feels beyond.
Exquisite. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Isaac.
Oh man, so wow, such a pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Teresia would like to speak. Yeah, you're unmuted, Teresia, already, you see.
Yeah. I have also something. I try to make it short or precise. I gave an online session with my biodynamic venue. Second time to somebody. First time was okay. Second time, in my view, also. And then I got a thank you. And 2-3 days later, the person was complaining to me. He didn't felt, or she, doesn't matter, enough seen, felt, heard from me. His touches deeply, touched deeply. I could see, okay.
Just slow it down. So that was their perception.
Yeah, I slowed it down because it's so long ago. But yeah.
So that's their perception. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I Yeah, can I
Mhm.
go on? Or have I to
Yeah.
slow down?
No, well, I mean, it just, it's like you showed up and you were there as you knew how to be, and the the feedback that got given was that somehow they didn't feel seen and felt, and so wow, you can say thank you, or something that can get hurt. I did. It's like I did my best, or and still it wasn't enough, or something like that. It's
Yeah, I got this. I mean,
yeah,
it went through many
of course, yeah.
days ago, and I could see the touch and then fight, flight, freeze, or whatsoever. So I waited. But I was also so deeply touched that I had to share it with somebody from the Sangha I had to speak about.
Mhm.
And she gave me wonderful feedback. It helped me in this moment. Something like maybe it's a projection from her.
Yeah.
Subconscious, she had to do this to see something in herself. And now my question comes, how can I truly check what is true on her feedback and what is she projecting? Is there a way to figure this out?
No,
No.
no. I mean, to me, the only value really is just to watch where something in your system responds to it.
I could see old
Because
belief. Also, I'm not good enough.
yeah. So that's where it's useful, because we can't know. I mean, what I hear is that somehow that person felt safe enough to tell you,
Yeah, okay.
and but then there's many nuances. Did they tell you like in a way of that was just their perception, or was there some level of making you wrong?
Yes.
There's so many.
This was
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
This was that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's
Like this, I won't take another session with you. And this was really for me.
Yeah.
Because I did my best.
Yeah. So you can see that if there's some, and it would be very rare that if a person didn't feel felt and seen, that they could just report it. Oh, I didn't feel felt and seen without a make wrong. And that it's not so much the feedback. The make wrong is what produces the vibration, or the vibration like this.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, so it's just, okay, wow, you didn't feel seen. Great. Thank you for telling me. And thank you for feeling safe enough to tell me, even whether they did come with some level of make wrong. It's tricky territory to report back to someone that you respect and that you've asked for a session from, that, didn't, yeah.
And it was lovely to see that I didn't want to react immediately. I mean, to her.
Yeah.
Because this is not my interest to discuss about anything.
Yeah, and you could watch it, it touched something, and it touched something in your system. It touched, something. So then you can look, was it what was said, or was it how that was said that touched? Just see if you can make that decision. How, yeah. And that's where, that's, I think, for many of us, that is where the difficulty comes in, is that there's another energy riding with it. And then when I look, I see that usually there's no bad intention. It's just that there's something that got touched that they couldn't quite hold themselves. So then it comes out like that, yeah.
But this, I don't have to look at this, what came up.
No. Yeah, no. But just to recognize.
Yeah.
And then just watch what happens in ourselves when it gets expressed in some kind of a clumsy way. because it's, man, it can touch deeply, and it can touch like, well, I never want to talk to that person again. You know, it's like it touches a hurt that can be quite intense.
Thank you.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
Yes. And it's healthy when this comes for me. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
it can be healthy, but it's also like not to stop there. Just like, okay, wow,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, but it's good. Fuck you comes, man.
Oh, thank you. Oh. So I invite you also to online session. It works. I said.
Thank you. Yeah.
And
Thanks.
Michael, yeah. And everybody who wants, I mean, clear, who trusts me. Just rest some little bit. For the grounding.
See if we can rest without even an agenda of grounding. Just letting it, no agenda at all. Just letting it free. Yeah, just.
Then other stuff comes.
Yes. How good is that?
There are more people, otherwise I would stay.
No worries.
Thank you so
All
much.
good. Yeah.
Monica would like to speak.
Okay.
Hi, Isaac. I'm here.
Okay, 1 second. I'm coming back to the first screen. I see you.
I'm waving.
I do. I see you. And I see your
Okay.
big screen full.
Okay. Sorry. There is one thing I want to look with you at. At first, I'm very excited now because of when I'm just sitting with you, it's okay, yes. But when I go in a view of a personality, I'm a little bit ashamed, and so I feel not so good.
Yeah.
But it is on my mind, and so I want to speak it out, okay?
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for feeling safe enough to bring that, yeah?
Yes.
You don't need to change it. You don't need to work on it. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to change it. Just, you notice there's that, like, old information that plays in that way. If it was up to you, it would not play. So you can see it's something that just does itself, yeah?
Okay. Yeah. The thing is, I'm in contact with an organization, Academy for Future Science, who brings together spirituality and science. And they show an experiment where they put RNA from the DNA, RNA, you know, about a computer, information about a computer transferred to a glass of water, you know. And so I think it's possible to transfer information into us, perhaps about a chip, you know, this recognition, perhaps. And so I think, okay, what a chance have we when it comes, that we are forced to get vaccinated. And I think the chance is to get the system, this body system, on a higher vibration, you know?
Yeah, you know, if I could say, I think it's possible. I know that there's many people working on it. But, you know, for me, I would really want to know a little bit more, because, you know, if that's possible, there's all kinds of things that could go wrong or could be used in different ways. So, you know, for me, for sure, you know, like, I think that's the future in a way. If you look at some of these people that are exploring that there'll be enhanced human beings with artificial intelligence. And whether or not that's a good thing or not, who knows? But for sure, it's going to make the divide between rich and poor much bigger. There's a lot of consequences to it. And yeah, so it's, and yeah, you know, it's experimental. We don't really know. So, and some people will go for it, I think. And, you know, it's like, but yeah, it's for sure people are working on it, no doubt. I've read a number of reports on it.
Yes, what I mean is, for me as a personality and identified with this body sometimes, is it possible to get the vibration of the body higher on a light vibration? You know what I mean? So that I'm vibrating higher than the information they put on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's an interesting question, yeah. So as we hear, and so, you know, that's like, to me, the frequency of any system, it has to do with, you know, like a television, which channel it's tuned to. For humans, it's where your attention is and how it's there. That's, you know, that's the tuning fork, so to speak. So we hear. If you know, like if our system is existentially organized, there's a certain habit of attention that happens. When it softens like now, and it starts to get wider, there's a felt sense of, it starts to move in the direction of no boundaries, of just being part of totality. There's just, you know, like a flow, infinite flow of information that's going on every second, every breath. The sunshine is information, the sounds are information, colors are information. You know, we're in an information flow, so to speak. Some we can perceive, some we can't. There's ultraviolet, there's infrared, there's so many different fields of information. And then, you know, there's just where our attention is focused and what we tune to.
Yes. So. Yes, I think so. And you wrote in the post a few days ago, I don't remember when it was, but you posted that we have to look what is nurturing us. And that goes in this direction, what is nurturing us. What is supporting the system. And then perhaps radiating it also for all. I think so.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's like this. It's like if you take a petri dish.
What?
You know, one of those little dishes that they use in laboratories where they put cultures. You know, like they'll take some cells and put it in a kind of a jelly, and then they test it with different things. And if you put food, the cells will go to it. If you put poison, the cells go away from it. So the cells, just the smallest little bacteria, knows what its food is and knows what is dangerous to it.
Yeah.
It's just like you plant a tree and it knows it goes to where the water is, or where it knows how to take what it needs from the air, the sun, the earth. But, you know, human beings, we've grown up liking Coca-Cola and pizza, which is a bit crazy.
Don't drink Coca-Cola, I don't drink. And I cannot eat so much in this direction because the system of my system says no, it's not.
Yeah. So you know, that means that your system is a little bit more in tune. But you see how many people
Yes.
they don't have that sensitivity, and
Yes.
so you know, it's like, yeah.
Okay.
So you know, it's like just resting here. So many things are nurturing us. Like the sun nurtures us. You know, our system interfaces with, it's made up of viruses and bacteria and, you know, like, so yeah, just life forms, different life forms. It's a combination of all those different things, yeah. And it's constantly dancing and vibrating and, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is with the pollution, you know, pollution like electromagnetic, electrosmog, or then vaccination with a chip who can inform my ANR with the information they want. That is for me a pollution, not a natural thing.
Yeah. And so that's, you know, that's what's coming up in people's minds. Do we have the, you know, are we sovereign, and do we have a right to say what people put into our bodies or not? Do we just say, okay, you're the government, we trust you, you can do what you like, you can inject what you like? And people are considering this now. Wait a second. Some people say, yes, it's a great idea. Look how many. Other people say, no way, I'm not interested.
Yeah, when you have the right, that's okay.
When you have the right, yeah.
When you are forced, no? Then
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I often said when the people say, "Oh, so bad times at the moment," I said, "You have to be grateful. You have a home, you have food. Yes, you can perhaps walk in Spain. They don't allow to go out of the house at the moment. Yes, not walking. No." And you are not living in a concentration camp, you know. When people who would live in a concentration camp, also for them this would be the freedom what we have at the moment. So it's always a perspective.
Yeah, it is a perspective, and it's funny to find how that there is the capacity, you could say, beyond any circumstance to be at peace.
Yes.
And so, I mean, that's the question. Can we keep staying with that interest? Yeah, again and again.
Yes.
And then watching activation comes and the mind spins, and then, you know, it's okay. Resourcing and allowing the nervous system to quieten again. I mean, it's an endless dance in a way. Yeah.
Yes, when it's more, or when it my system is what kann man das sagen, is to come to balance faster. Sometimes there is a wave who push me out of myself, you know, like dissociation. but then I come back faster, faster.
Yeah.
And yes, and that is such a great support what you and Michael do at the moment. I'm so grateful for that, because such a support. Yes.
I'm happy to hear.
Yeah. Okay.
Great, Monica.
Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Isaac, I think. Oh,
I see you.
yeah, sorry. Hi.
No, perfect.
So this meeting today is touching a lot. Actually, everything that was said, something can be found in this.
Yeah.
And when you spoke with Eva about compensating, how the system is compensating, you know, one way how this system is compensating is by watching TV. When something is touched, and maybe we can sit together in this to see why the system moves away towards this compensation.
You know, it's just, there's an unconscious movement where it'll move that way, but there's also a conscious movement of using TV just as a resource. So it can be both, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like,
Yeah, I can see
like, now there's no movement away just here at this moment that I can see. We just here. Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, this is a, you know, I guess I could put a story on it, but it's like, to me, you know, we come from, you could say, tribes and hunter-gatherer groups. That's our roots, so to speak. So we used to actually being around people and moving and women cooking together, and you know, it's like we're not so built, you could say, for spending many hours alone. And you know, it's like, even just to have one partner, it's so different than having a whole community, you know, children, grandparents, just, and to me, that's kind of where our roots, in a sense, you know. And then we've moved very quickly to this kind of living, which isn't really, it's like, you know, in a sense, it's, we can accustom ourselves to it, and you know, like, but there's, you know, touching, and you watch how apes are, they're always touching each other, and you know, taking fleas off and all of that stuff. And you know, now we sit and we've got phones and televisions, but it's so different than being relational, you could say. And so, and there is a way of resting in that aloneness, where you start to feel the kinship with the trees and the plants and all that stuff. But again, you know, for many of us, we're sitting in four walls and looking out a window at something. You know, it's a funny way we've moved. But when we meet like this, I just feel how your whole system just enjoys. It's
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
simple.
it actually relaxed a lot in what you said, that it can be also a resource, because I see that when I come home and the system is activated and watching TV, really it's like helping to settle down.
Yeah.
And I guess that after that it's probably finding this balance point, not to overdo it. You know, or to choose which movies to watch, because some are crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, so thank you so much, Isaac. That made so much clear. And yeah, thanks all also who spoke before. It's really, really great. Okay, so I removed.
Esther would like to speak.
Okay. See Esther on this page. I see her now. Hi, Esther.
I just was curious if the last time we sit together or the way we meet was just an imagination of me, fantasy. So my system's really almost going to the over. It's very exhausted.
Just let it be exhausted. Just let it be exhausted. That just exploring exhaustion. And when exhaustion can just be here, you don't have to change it or fix it. How is that?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that in daily life I try to hide it.
Yeah.
This is not what you're allowed to see from me.
I love when exhaustion comes and visits and I can just lay down and take a nap. Wow.
Yes,
So
not possible
nice.
in this house.
I'm not sure.
I have to
I'm
go
amazed.
with a mattress to the forest or something like that. But you know, it's already, you know, it's so speedy that it's, yeah, sometimes I sleep and then I'm happy.
Yeah. It's, I mean, it's one of those things. Sometimes, you know, we have an idea. Okay, I have something I want to do, and this exhaustion is an inconvenience. And sometimes we listen. Oh wow, how nice! I can even just sit quietly or lay down quietly for a few minutes, however long it wants.
I sense that it is, well, that's the story. I sit with you now. And yeah, there was also last week I saw a friend and we spoke with a little bit, or I asked her because she's a teacher somewhere if she could, if she knew people for me, probably to assist with cooking with children or something like that. And then she said, yeah, I know people who, you know, came from another job and then came in that sideway flow, so to say, in teaching. But they had to work very, very hard for it to realize it. And then I felt something in me, and I'm curious if it's, yeah, it must be a young system, I guess. But then it was very quiet, and it just, there was no action in it, and then it's just, was it frozen? Is it a kind of trauma, or was it quiet because maybe deep down there is no interest in it? And I saw it's just, I don't know what it was, or how to go in the action then. It was so not able to move thing.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know if there's a formula. When it can't move, it can't move. And that's what, you know, that's what's happening in that moment. And so just, yeah, how we allow to move it, and it doesn't want to move, it just doesn't want to move.
See, I expected another answer.
I'm not very good at meeting expectations, I'm sorry.
No, I know that. That's good.
I mean, it's an interesting phenomena. Just we hear, and you know how this mechanism functions of thinking we know how it should be, how we should be, how it should be, how someone else should be, or any of those funny movements, yeah. Somehow life seems to spend a lot of time looking through those different filters and not just, not knowing how anything,
So I'm not present now, or?
No, just that I think I was referring to something you said, but maybe I wasn't.
How is it for you? How we met?
It's changing every second. I don't think I can speak it.
Do you enjoy, or is it also changing by second?
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself. But it's
Yeah, but do you enjoy meeting, or not so much?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking about that. So it wasn't on my screen to measure it. There was just a moment or two ago, there was very lovely enjoying, and then it changed again. So I don't know. It's like, how do we freeze frame it, and so we can talk about it? Mm.
It's funny to stay with meeting you and not be push my attention to sounds around me, especially the annoying sounds. And how my attention withdraw there instead of staying here.
Mm. Yeah.
I feel that that something has changed in how I wait.
Beautiful.
Maybe it's just again my imagination. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Esther.
Susanna would like to speak.
Susanna.
Suzanne, you are unmuted now.
Thank you.
I see you.
Hi, Isaac.
Hi, Susanna.
Susanne.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I said, didn't it?
What?
I think that's what I said, but
It really resonated a lot with me what Eva and Ine were talking about.
yeah.
And at the same time, I noticed there's also something like rage coming regarding that.
Oh, for sure. In a sense, that's how powerful the mind is. It makes something in and it projects a whole, like tapestry of emotions and compensations and
many years ago, he said to me that I'm so fixed on emotions, something like that. And the longer I look at that, the more I can see that you were right.
Yeah. Funny,
yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so if that's a pattern, that's a pattern, and then, it's like slowly, maybe it doesn't get taken so seriously. It's just
baby steps.
Yeah.
And the best thing is always to be gentle.
Yeah.
If I can remember that, it's great.
No problem. Yeah. Christoph must be very attracted to emotions.
No, he isn't.
Probably at first he found it very attractive, and then afterwards, it's funny how these patterns play. Eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, whatever the pattern is I see, usually we don't choose them. It's not a conscious thing. It's just, it's just old information playing, and with luck, it gets explored little bit by little bit.
Yeah, and the worst thing that can happen is one thing that is making it even worse is if I try not to
stop it or suppress it. That's definitely not such a good idea.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Isaac.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Isaac.
Who's that? Where?
Sylvie.
Sylvia, I hear you, but I'm just looking for where on my screen you are. Okay, somewhere here. Ah, now I see you. Great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, good.
I had a question. I'm receiving healings now for my asthma, and it's been really working well. And it seems that all layers are going out of my system at the moment.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And the next layer I feel really in my belly. So I wanted to ask if you can be with that, and yeah, maybe you can feel it.
Sure. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there was a layer with pain, and underneath there is that I just don't want to be here, and a belief. Yes.
And then, we have no idea whether you're tuning into your ancestry or when you were in the womb. We just don't know. So it's just like just sensing somewhere in the tissue there's a memory or old information or something. Just gently, okay.
It's shivering now, releasing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Can you feel it?
I mean, it's hard, and I mean, I feel a lot of things. And it's just like just resting with it, and just yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like our culture is not used to and doesn't encourage being fully alive and just fully meeting life as a sensual, sexual being, just, you know, with a clear capacity to say yes and no. There's so much suppression and not allowing,
Yeah.
and, you know, it's just like trying to fit everything into, you know, religious beliefs and societal beliefs, and it's, you know, so the system is like, whew, you know,
It's not free.
no, so it's just, yeah, so of course it affects breathing, it affects everything, you know, it's just.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just like, I love that meeting the moment as the beloved, you know, like full, just with every cell, with everything. And just as a, how can I say, an invitation, yeah? Not trying to make it happen, but just, you know, that possibility. And
Total surrender.
yeah, just. Being taken and taking and giving and receiving, and, you know, everything just.
Thank you, Isaac.
Sylvie. Yeah, thank you, Sylvie.
Geerta would like to speak. Geerta, I can unmute you. Just have to. Yeah, you're unmuted now. I'm trying to unmute you, but yes, it should work.
Okay. Where's Erica? Can you wave a hand or something, Erica, please? Maybe on this page.
There's no video. I don't think she has a video. I think she only wanted to ask a question, but she's muted now.
Okay, please. Please feel free.
Somehow the mute button doesn't work. Can you hear us, Geerta? I will send her. So in between, I will send her a chat message. So maybe for now, then Najma can go, and then I will try to figure it out with Geerta.
Okay.
So Najma, you are unmuted.
I see you.
you getting messages?
I don't know if my microphone is working.
It's working perfectly.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm very happy to have made it. There was a strong tendency to stay, I found it difficult to receive. And I loved very much everybody, the sharing. I felt very much part of it.
Mm.
But some difficulty to come out.
And it didn't stop you.
Yeah.
Mm.
True.
Mm.
There's often a resting and a knowing and strong identity around failure. Job-wise, I failed after my 50.
Mm-hmm.
Now my small jobs have fallen away because of this period. But, can't get myself really into astrology or anything. I love this time actually, but feeling of pressure, feels good to just share it. Yeah.
I understand.
And also to do with feelings of unworthiness and from very young really I've had this message that no good, you can't do things. I just realized that strongly the last few years that this It's a very strong message.
Just keep exploring. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the imprint, and just check and see if it's true.
Yeah.
If it's worth either fighting with or agreeing with. They're just ideas. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, like there'll be a way that the tissue has adapted to believing in it or fighting with it. And just you gently just, okay. Personality would have formed its way around there and around that. It's just all automatically, nothing that you did. And you just see it. It's okay. That which sees is free of it, man. Absolutely free of it.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good to be and to open up and love everybody. And I was very happy also with Judith's reports. This strong being and everybody. Thank you, Isaac.
Thanks, Najma.
Thank you. I know. And Eva, thank you too.
Thank you. So Goethe, I would like to give it another try.
Okay.
Let me see.
I see you, Goethe.
Oh yeah, it's under the name of iPad. So then I can unmute you. Yeah, you should be able to speak now.
Okay, I'll try. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfect. And I see you perfect.
Ah, good. Good.
Can you see me?
When I see myself, what?
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you, but I cannot see myself and you. So
I know, yeah.
Okay, I not see myself then, I don't know how the video goes on. Yeah. Okay. What's happening for me is that I see you 10 years ago in Holland, and I just met again 1 week before on the Facebook on the 5 minutes morning. And what is happening is I'm a rescuer. I want to rescue, and it's difficult for me. I wrote from your page to the vaccine page, another page, and then I came on the page of resveratrol medication. And I was reading a beautiful article about somebody who's in the automolecular world and did a real research on it. And she said, don't try it, just use it. And then I was, wow. And my father is 88. And so I was looking again for the link to look for more. And then it was gone. The whole information, the whole research, everything about what he was written. It was a kind of a message to the premier in Holland. It was a message to the premier in Holland, copied for us. And then it was gone on the Facebook. So I'm a bit like that. Okay, there is something, and it's disappeared in the controlled work of Facebook. I can't find it anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's a bit what is in me now, that we should do something. I'm not just being quiet. Okay, I like quiet, but I want to do something. I don't want that my father is not going to be ill, really, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm very sad because I'm healthy. Maybe I had it a little bit, so I suppose I can handle it. But all the people who are older and are afraid and who know they are vulnerable because of diseases, and then, oh, I hate it that healthy information, healthy medication is not visible.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it might be worthwhile for you just to Google and see what strengthens the immune system. You know, it's like the immune system, if it's strong, then even if it is exposed, it will deal with it. I don't know what the figures are in Holland, but even if you're old, I mean, I don't think everyone that's old that gets it dies. I think that as percentage do, it is like that. And, you know, so what do you do with that information? You can, if your father is concerned, he can isolate himself and really take care. But it's not so easy. You know, it's like, I'm also in, you know, if you're over 60, they say you're at much greater risk. And if you have certain conditions, and you're at greater risk. And so I'm in the high risk category. But for me, when I look, even the high risk category, so maybe I've got a 4 or 6% chance. It's not, you know, it's not everybody that gets it that's going to die. And if it's my time, I'm easy with that. I don't mind. So it's, I understand you concerned for your dad, that you say he's 88. He's had a really good life, and you can ask him if he's scared or if he's, you know, yeah, what's true for him. Yeah. You know, we don't know what's best for someone else. So you can just ask him, hey, Dad, you know, I'm concerned for you. You're 88. There's love here, and I certainly don't want to put you at risk. What do you want?
I'm very. I asked him because his girlfriend doesn't want to go in the hospital anymore after all these stories. And then I asked him, well, what do you want? And then he said, yeah, of course, I want to stay alive. So yes, the hospital if needed. And he's a alive and kicking man. But I don't know about specific medication. No.
Yeah. No, I mean, the few things that I've seen on a practical level are taking vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc. So those are some basics: vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. And I'm sure you can find all kinds of things on the net that help strengthen the immune system. But you know, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. So my sense is, you know, of course we love to live, or not everyone wants to live, but some people would like to keep living. But it's not up to us. Life has its own plans.
I don't want him to go.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I completely understand. And you can see it's not up to you. And just noticing that not wanting him to go is not right, it's not wrong, it's not good, it's not bad. It's actually, an expression. It's an expression of love. It's beautiful in some way, yeah. But just watch if you suffer because of it. That's all. Because then it would get in the way of you being able to meet him in a beautiful way.
What do you mean the last sentence?
If your attention is on, I don't want him to go, I don't want him to go, when you meet him, you will not be able to really meet him. That'll get in the way. Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. I don't know if I'm able to do that, but yes, that's true.
No, it's not a question of doing anything. It's just a question of seeing. Look, if you want to do something, and
Yeah,
there's
I
something,
can see that. Yes.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, you just see it, and it's just you have an interest to really enjoy your dad. So enjoy him whenever you can, even this moment. Oh, there's your dad, and just enjoying the love you feel with him, and yeah. It's, for sure, when that love flows out of your heart, he feels it. Yeah. And you can come with all these good things for him, but he'll either have an interest in them or he won't. And you can try and talk him into it.
Wait a
But,
minute.
so, you can come with this vitamins. You can come with all these vitamins and stuff, and he might say, look, I'm not so interested. It's just, yeah. Yeah. That's probably a good idea. You say, Dad, look, I've researched, these things, and they help keep you young and strong. Do you want them? And he'll say, look, yeah. Yes or no. Thank you for thinking of me. I feel your love. So often we kind of mix up worrying about someone for love. We get them confused, yeah? In this moment, just feeling your dad, enjoying the connection you have. Enjoying it as much as you're allowed to enjoy it in this moment.
Yes, a very nice man. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's beautiful because that's, when you enjoy like that, it's healthy for your immune system, yeah? When you get worried, it's not so good for your immune system, so. If it's possible, enjoy him. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, good.
I'll
Yeah.
take it in my heart. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you. Okay. thank you all for showing up and exploring together.
Isaac, will there be another meeting, or is it the last one of this series?